Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Jamil and I'm gonna make a video assignment for class graphic computer. What does resolution mean? Resolution indicates the number of pixels that are displayed per inch for an image or pixel per centimeter. The unit measure usually is in pixel per inch, or we call it PPI. Image resolution could also be described as the image level of detail. Means that the higher resolution means more image detail. What does the crop tool do? The crop tool functions to remove the part of an image surrounding the selection. The crop tool also functions to straighten, trim and scale the picture or photograph and make it fit the space designed for it. So then, let's take a look at my tutorial on how to playing around with the crop tool. Let's go.
The first thing first, go to Tools panels and select the crop tool. Then, in the options bar, choose size and resolution from the preset aspect ratio menu. Set 3.5 inch for the width and 2.5 inch for the height, and don't forget to add 200 pixels per inch for the resolution. Then press OK button or the right button. As the result, you can see the image was cropped. Next, let's straighten the image by using Straighten tool. Click the Straighten icon on the options and then drag a straight line across the top edge of the photo, like I do. And voila, your image was straightened. Now, adjust and crop your image follows your preference. And then save your file.
How can we adjust the tone and color of an image? There is 3 things we can do regarding to adjusting the tone and color of an image. The first one is by adjusting the color in camera raw filter. Second, we can replace colors in an image. Third is by adjusting saturation of a color with the sponge tool. Let's take a look at the first one that I have mentioned. Let's go.
First thing first, import your image to Photoshop or drag your image, bring it into Photoshop. Then click Filter and choose Camera Raw Filter. Then something will pop up. Just select White Balance tool at the top of the Camera Raw dialog. And click white area of the gravity to see the changes, and then click the girl white shoe. The color tone change again. That's how the color tone can be changed. Okay, let's go further. At the basic panel, move the temperature slider to -53 and the tint slider to -54. Next, move the slider for exposure to -0.5 and contrast +23, and last one black +15. Next section, move the slider for clarity +12 and vibrance +25 and the saturation +5. However, it is not necessary to follow my settings. You can do your own setting to suit your preference. And if everything is okay and suits your preference, you may click OK. Look how beautiful the image is after we adjust some configuration and adjusting the color and tone of the image. Now, we're gonna replace colors in an image. For an example, this child's cap color is red, so we're gonna change it to green. Let's go. First, select the color replacement tools in the tool panel behind the brush tool. Then click the foreground color and find the color that close to shade of green. Or we can easily enter the RGB color code, which is the value is R459, G184 and B6. Then click OK. Don't start brush yet. In the options bar, open the brush pop-up panel to view the brush options. and move the size slider to 13 pixels, hardness slider to 14%, and the spacing slider to 45%. Choose off from the size and the tolerance menu. Next, in the options bar, choose hue from the mode menu, then click sampling continuous icon like I do, and choose find edge from the limits menu and set the tolerance to 32%. And then the last one, make sure the anti-alias is selected. Just follow like I do. You may now start paint the head to change the color. And you may change the size of brush if needed. Everything is done, save the file. The color tone can be changed by adjusting the saturation with the sponge tool. Firstly, select the sponge tool hidden under the dodge tool, follow like I do. Next, in the brush pop-up panel, move the size slider to 150 pixels and then move the hardness slider to 0%. In the top menu, choose Saturate from the mode menu, like I do, and for flow, enter 40%. You may start use the sponge tool, drag the sponge back and forth over the gravity to the left of the girl to increase the saturation. Look at the result. Be careful not to oversaturate the gravity. The changes may be slight, but they are there. Now we are done and save our works.
What tools can we use to remove blemish in an image? There are three tools that we can use to remove blemishes in an image, which are Clone Stamp Tool, Spot Healing Brush Tool, and Content Aware Patch. Before we begin with the demonstration of using these three tools, let's take a look at their difference. Clone Stamp Tool uses pixel from one area of an image to replace the pixel in another part of the image, while Spot Healing Brush Tool can quickly remove the blemishes by paints with sampled pixel from an image or pattern and match the texture, lighting, transparency, and shading of the sampled pixels to the pixels being healed. Meanwhile, Content Aware Patch is not like cloning, it's more like a magic where we can fill any selection with the content similar to the content around it, as if the object we selected never existed. However, basically, all these two have the same purpose to remove unwanted object from our image. Let's go to the tutorial.
Firstly, we can use Clone Stamp Tool. Select the Clone Stamp Tool in the Tools panel. Then, in the options bar, open the brush pop-up menu and set the size to 21 and the hardness to 0%. Make sure the align option is selected. Then, choose Window, Clone Source to open the Clone Source panel. Clone Source panel gives you greater control over the area you are cloning. In here, select Show Overlay and clip in the Clone Source panel. Then make sure opacity is set to 100%. To start sampling the part of the image is by press alternate click in Windows. Then drag the Clone Stamp tool over the hotspot on the brick. And you may release the mouse button and move the pointer to another area in the hotspot. And then start dragging again. The process is repeated. Continue cloning the bricks until the entire hotspot is filled in. When you're satisfied with the appearance of the brick, close the Clone Source panel and save your project. Next tool we can use is Content Aware Patch. Firstly, in the Tools panel, select the Patch tool hidden beneath of the Spot Healing Brush tool. And make sure in the options bar, choose Content Aware from the patch menu. And the way to use it is by drag the patch tool around the crack in the wall to select it. And then click within the area you have just selected and drag it to the right. And tada! The crack in the wall or the dark hotspot has been patched. Do repeat the same process until all the dark spot has been patched. The last and easiest one is by using the spot healing brush tool. Firstly, in the tool panel, select the spot healing brush tool, and after the tool has been selected, in the options bar, open the brush pop-up panel and specify 100% hard brush that is about 40 pixels in diameter. The way to use the brush tool is by drag the spot healing brush from right to left across the dark spot in the image. As a result, the dark spot is disappeared and the painted area is healed. Do until all the dark spot is eliminated.
What effect does the Unsharp Mask filter have on an image? The Unsharp Mask filter adjusts the contrast of the edge detail and creates the illusion of more focused image. Let's take a look at the tutorial to get more understanding. Let's go.
So to applying the Unsharp Mask filter, you have to choose Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask, just like I do. In the Unsharp Mask dialog box, make sure that Preview is selected and drag the amount slider is up to about 70% to sharpen the image. Then drag the radius slider to determine the number of pixels surrounding the edge pixel that will affect the sharpening. Next, set the threshold value to 0, 1, 2 or 3. When you're satisfied with the result, click OK to apply the Unsharp Mask filter. Then save your work.